The story of France is a long and winding one, stretching back millennia. Humanity's story in this region begins in deep, silent caves, echoing with the whispers of our ancestors. Long before the rise of kingdoms and empires, early humans, with remarkable artistic skill, painted bison, mammoths, and other creatures of their world on the cool, damp limestone walls, providing invaluable evidence of a world teeming with life, a world they intimately knew and depended upon. These ancient artists were also innovators and resourceful problem solvers, carefully shaping flint into tools that allowed them to hunt effectively, build shelters, and ultimately to survive in a challenging environment. As the climate warmed and the ice receded, people gradually left the caves for open settlements, venturing into the sunlight, learning to farm the land, and form larger, more complex communities, laying the groundwork for civilization. The mastery of metal, a pivotal moment in human history, first bronze with its golden sheen, then iron, strong and resilient, ushered in a new era, the age of the Celts, known in this region as the Gauls, a people of fierce independence and vibrant culture. The Gauls were not a single nation but rather independent tribes skilled in farming the fertile lands, warfare, a constant reality of their time, and intricate metalwork, crafting beautiful and functional objects, united by a shared language, artistic traditions, and a complex social structure. They built fortified hill forts called oppida, strategic locations that served as centers, which became bustling centers of trade and commerce and centers of religious and spiritual life. Their traditions, beliefs, and history were passed down orally by the Druids, the learned class of Celtic society, leaving a lasting legacy etched in the land, in place names, and in the cultural fabric of the region. Before the arrival of Rome and the subsequent Roman conquest, these proud and independent tribes laid the foundations, brick by brick, for the rich and complex culture that would eventually become France. Along the sun-kissed southern coast of what we now know as France, history was about to unfold in dramatic fashion. Around 600 BC, Greek traders sailing from distant shores founded Massalia, modern Marseille, a bustling port city that would become a gateway to the region. They brought with them not just goods but also new ideas, sophisticated trade practices, and crucially the alphabet, a tool that would revolutionize communication. The native Gauls, skilled artisans and farmers, eagerly exchanged metals and grain with these newcomers, fostering a vibrant economic exchange. This connection was more than just commerce. It was a bridge, connecting the Celtic lands to the wider classical world and its burgeoning civilization. But the winds of change were blowing, and soon, the insatiable ambition of Rome loomed large on the horizon. By the 2nd century BC, the Romans, with their legendary military might, established Gallia Narbonensis in the south, marking the beginning of Roman dominance. As Roman influence spread, tensions inevitably grew between the independent Gallic tribes and the ever-expanding Roman Republic. This friction set the stage for one of history's most famous military campaigns, Julius Caesar's conquest of Gaul. Caesar's Gallic Wars were a brutal affair, crushing resistance with ruthless efficiency and forever altering the course of the region's history. The conflict reached its climax, ending with the heroic yet tragic fall of Vercingetorix at the Siege of Alesia. With Gaul firmly under Roman control, Roman rule transformed the region in profound ways. A network of roads, magnificent cities, and the Latin language began to blend seamlessly with the existing Celtic roots, creating something entirely new. Small settlements like Paris and Lyon grew from humble Roman towns into thriving urban centers, and over time the everyday Latin spoken by soldiers and settlers gradually evolved into what we now recognize as the beautiful French language. From this cultural fusion, a new Gallo-Roman culture emerged, a unique blend of conqueror and conquered. This new identity was characterized by a fascinating fusion of Celtic traditions with the Roman sense of order and efficiency. This transformative era laid the legal, linguistic, and infrastructural groundwork that would ultimately shape the future of France for centuries to come. Thus, out of conquest and cultural exchange, a new and enduring identity was forged in the heart of Gaul. As Rome weakened, the Franks, a Germanic people, moved into northern Gaul, first as allies, then as rulers. Clovis, their ambitious king, united the tribes and converted to Catholicism, gaining support from the Gallo-Roman population and the church. This alliance shaped French identity for centuries. The Merovingian dynasty faded, but the Carolingians rose, led by Charlemagne. Crowned emperor in 800, Charlemagne's realm spanned much of Western Europe. He promoted education, law, and a cultural revival, the Carolingian Renaissance. After his death, the Treaty of Verdun split his empire. West Francia became the core of modern France. Though unity faded, Charlemagne's legacy endured. From these fragments, the Kingdom of France began to take shape. Early French kings struggled to control powerful nobles who ruled vast lands independently. Rivalry with England intensified after the Norman conquest, leading to centuries of conflict. By the 1200s, French kings reclaimed key territories, strengthening royal power. In 1337, the Hundred Years' War erupted over the French throne and land. Early defeats left France near collapse, but Joan of Arc's leadership revived national spirit. By 1453, the English were expelled from nearly all French soil. The war forged a stronger national identity and a more centralized monarchy. France emerged more unified and powerful than ever before. The Renaissance swept across Europe, bringing cultural brilliance to France, igniting a new era of art, architecture, and intellectual thought. It was a time of rebirth and innovation. This period of enlightenment was also marked by intense religious conflict, as the rise of Protestantism challenged the established Catholic order, leading to decades of strife. Amidst the turmoil, the French monarchy skillfully consolidated its power, centralizing authority and laying the groundwork for absolute rule. This culminated in the reign of Louis XIV, the Sun King, whose absolute rule at Versailles became a symbol of royal power and extravagance. However, beneath the splendor and opulence, deep social and economic tensions simmered, fueled by inequality and widespread poverty. These tensions reached a boiling point, erupting in 1789 with the French Revolution, a watershed moment in European history. Revolutionaries rose up, toppling the old order and challenging the very foundations of monarchy and aristocracy. They declared rights for all citizens, enshrining principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity, and ultimately executed King Louis XVI. The revolution's ideals spread like wildfire, inspiring movements for change and reform worldwide. From the ashes of revolution, Napoleon Bonaparte rose from the chaos, a brilliant military leader and ambitious statesman. He embarked on a campaign to conquer Europe, spreading reforms and the Napoleonic Code, which had a lasting impact on legal systems across the continent. But his ambitions were ultimately thwarted, leading to his final defeat at Waterloo. The 19th century was a period of continued upheaval, marked by revolutions, shifting regimes, and the struggle to establish a stable political order. Ultimately, this era culminated in the firm establishment of the French Republic. In the 20th century, France endured the devastation of 2 world wars, facing immense challenges and sacrifices. Despite the immense suffering, France emerged from these conflicts with resilience, playing a key role in the reconstruction of Europe and becoming a leader in the European project. Today, France stands as a modern republic, a vibrant democracy with a rich cultural heritage. It is a global power, wielding significant influence in international affairs and shaping world culture and politics. Its journey, from ancient caves and medieval kingdoms to revolutionary ideals and modern democracy, continues to shape its vital role on the world stage, ensuring its enduring legacy for generations to come.